You have one anyway.
Hello. Yes.
New speaker here, Alan.
I'm the new speakers, and I want to share some experience for me.
Hey.
For
New speaker.
I want to suggest you reduce your payment on the Apple Pay and Google Pays. I want to share some information and experience from my experience. I come from China. China was the cash already gone.
Yes. No
cash anymore. Most of the people they use we call them Alipay and WeChat Pays. You must pay attention on this one because you must reserve your options, payment options. You must use a cash, card, and digital payment. We call them Apple Pay and Google Pay. Why? I tell you. Back to 2 years before, my mother was 68 years old. He was locked by phone. He cannot go outside. He cannot pay for the food. He cannot pay for the medicines. Cannot pay for the transportation. In China, you must have your mobile phone, and your mobile phone is connected with your ID card. So it's everything's connected with your mobile phones. So you must go pay. If you go to the bus, you pay by the mobile phone. Go to the train, pay by the mobile phone. Go to the food, by the restaurant and the supermarket, you pay the mobile phone. So everything's on the digital payment. That's very dangerous.
Yes.
One day, if your phone died, you died.
Yes.
If some people lock your phone, you was enjoyed. You was a digital jails. It's a very big problem. So I would like to suggest to you. Even in these countries, I saw a lot of people rely on the digital payment, Google Pay and Apple Pay. That's dangerous. Digital pay is very convenient. You can use it very easily, but you must reserve your right to make options. You must use your cash and card. I suggest for you 50% for the digital pays, 50% for the physical pays, cash, card. Make yourself safe and freedom of the e-payment.
Yes.
E-payment is very dangerous. Like chocolate. You taste this very good, but eat more. You will be dangerous. Your sugar, your blood sugar is very high. And one day, I don't believe the UK will have this kind of the policy. Will connect your mobile phone, your SIM card with your ID card. But sometimes, they want to do that.
Yes.
So your all date, your payment, your transportation, your what you earn, how much money you earn, how much money you spend, all in the date. We call them cloud date, big date, and all the data was stored in the computer. And what you have done all days from your home to your office, what's the transportation you take, what's the food you buy, and yes, even what you talking with your partners, what you talking with your friend, your phone have the secret, your back door to record the videos, the audios, so they can make the mic. What you have done, where you go, and what you talking with the peoples. So
they already do that.
Can I just ask, is that how widespread is that in China? Because China's a big place, isn't it? Is it across the whole of China, or is a lot of China not affected by that?
All China, they use digital pays. Cash already gone.
Entirely.
What, even in the small villages?
Yes, very rural place.
Everybody has to have a mobile phone.
Yes.
Yeah, then it's. Yeah.
So yes, digital pay is dangerous, So
no cash at all. So
no cash.
You cannot cannot steal any cash from anybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do I do with my renminbi?
Issues with digital
Maybe
payments
just a
because of
digital,
privacy concerns.
digital number.
I know, but I've still got renminbi at home.
Yeah.
Right.
So the solution
Can't
to
you
this,
take to the bank?
Yeah.
we can talk about this. What's your opinion on the cryptocurrency, the Bitcoin?
Bitcoin was another way. You know, you cannot Bitcoin to pay normal life. Bitcoin was a saving or another investment tools. Yeah, Bitcoin is an investment tools. That is differently with e-payment. Digital payment is
But
different.
we have stable coin now. It's linked 1-to-1 to the dollar.
Yeah.
So your issue, I came in a little bit late, but from what I
He's
understand,
talking about digital payment.
yeah, you have
digital
an issue with
payment,
digital
yeah.
payment because of privacy concerns, because of control.
Social control.
Yeah.
Central.
You're advocating people stick with cash. They're going to lose their money by inflation, so you cannot store your wealth in cash.
Yeah, bigger
You know
wealth.
this.
Yeah, but you've
Yeah,
got to keep cash alive.
my point is not against the digital payment. You can use a Google payment. You can use the Apple payment. Don't worry about that. But half it, or maximum 80%. Do not use them totally. If everybody,
Okay.
yes. So if everybody, they use the cash, you use the digital payment, the cash will gone. You cannot come them back.
Second point, though, connected in, and a lot of people concerned about, is this discussion about social credit system. So as far as a lot of people here think the social credit system is a universal thing, and that if you do one thing wrong, you automatically get a low social credit and you can't get on a plane and so on. I started looking into it, and it seemed to me that it was mainly aimed at businesses and restricting like criminal activity or non-tax payment by businesses. And the individuals in China, even though potentially they can use that, they haven't used that generally for the individuals. Is that correct, or what's your experience about that?
No.
Social credit. What's the social credit?
So they try to set up the social credit system. They use Alibaba, Alipay, and WeChat Pay to do that. But that's it secretly. We don't show this.
It's not
social.
so in other words, it's not a universal thing happening to you if you go around the streets on China, that if you jaywalk you get negative credit or something like that.
No. They have the date. They have a date.
Yeah, they have that
But
date
the
on us as well.
But they don't tell you what's your social credit is. But they're setting up the system now. Yes, like United States,
Well,
they have
attempting
to.
to do
Yes,
that. I mean,
they
I
try to do that.
understood it. They tried it. They trialed it in several provinces
Yes,
before 2020,
Yeah.
and then they reduced the amount of it afterwards.
yes. They try to do that, but this is not common for every people. You know, this is a very short times now. It's if you want to set up the social credit system, it's minimum the 5 or 10 years. So you only have several months. They cannot reflect your social credit.
They're bringing in AI at a pace as well, so they're going to develop these systems.
China is living in the future. It's maybe 10 or 20 years ahead of what other countries are going to have. Okay? In terms of the surveillance, in terms of the currency, like you said, central bank digital currency, CBDC. The problem is, if all of our money goes into the CBDC, which is what you fear, at any point, they can block it off. They can cut you off. So this is why you feel you need security with the cash. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
you're right.
That's your point.
But that wasn't CBDC.
Yes,
that's Alipay.
that's all right.
Things like
But
that.
Alipay, everything, they can cut you
Yes.
off. So that's correct. But the issue then comes to, now we have a solution to this. The Bitcoin is not controlled by the government. This is why worldwide is getting adoption.
Now, there's
But you
something in
cannot
crypto.
pay the
There is. I
Bitcoin.
think
You
can't
so.
pay
You
anything.
can. You can.
Buy the coffee.
Okay, look at the
Bitcoins for the coffee.
Look at the countries
No, you
which
can't.
economies have
Yeah.
collapsed. Lebanon collapsed, reverted to Bitcoin. El Salvador,
yes.
reverting to Bitcoin,
Yes.
Nigeria.
Yes.
We're viewing this from a privileged position in the West of UK and US, where their currency is stable. There are examples of countries where their currencies have collapsed
Yes.
and they have had to move to the Bitcoin
Yes.
blockchain.
I know, I understand why I understand.
The problem which you're describing, it has been discussed, and that is why more and more people are moving to a currency which doesn't have a government control.
Yes, I know that.
This is
You
why
know,
the government.
Yeah, but a couple of
You use
people own half the
currency
Bitcoin.
that doesn't under the control of the government.
coins as
But my point is, this you're right. Don't worry. But that's my point is keep
still a
your
currency,
choice,
I think.
keep your options.
It is.
You have the cash, 20% payment, the car 20% payment, digital payment 60%. Doesn't matter. But if all the people go to the digital payment, the cash will gone.
Yes.
The car will gone. You cannot get them back. You know that you cannot get back.
And there's
Like in
absolute
China,
pressure.
you cannot use the cash to buy the coffee,
Yeah, but
buy the water. You
the
cannot pay on them.
China-
Yeah, the big problem, you know.
China,
You don't have the choice
Want to keep
anymore.
cash. Want to keep cash.
Do you agree? China has forced the population into this corner because they're stopping the cash payment systems. Likewise here in Europe, we cannot keep cash alive because they are forcing us down this path.
That's why.
Keep cash.
Keep cash.
Yeah,
That's
but
why.
in terms of using
That's
it, do you
why.
agree in terms of how to use the cash? They're limiting our options to do this. Slowly, restaurants and other places they're saying card only.
Well, you
card
boycott
only.
them.
We
You
asking
don't
the
use
people
them.
use the cash. We asking people use card. At least 20%, 30% use cash. That's reserve your freedom.
Yes.
You reserve your right. You know, reserve your freedom. You don't listen. If all the people we keep the 20% payment by cash, the cash will gone.
Yes.
If you go to the supermarket, go to the coffee shop, you use cash, they won't refuse
Do
you.
you have an economics background?
What's that got to do with it?
I propose.
You don't need to have any economics qualifications.
I haven't and I don't.
Precisely the people who are fucking the world up have got economics qualifications.
Yes.
That's I talk about my experience. That's my family experience. This is a big problem, you know. Yes, I know that.
You can do your presentation over there.
If you hold your wealth in cash, for example, if you were to advise people here to hold their wealth in cash, 20% or 30% of their net worth.
He's talking about spending.
Yeah, it's about everyday spending. A lot of people haven't even got wealth to hold in those sorts of...
Without listening to
What would be the
deposits.
value of that cash after 10 or 20 years?
Yeah, we know
talking
there's
about spending.
inflation. We
He's
know
talking about
there's
spending.
That is your
but most people haven't
freedom.
even
That's your
got that
choice.
wealth.
You have the right to make options. You know.
What would its value be in 20 years?
That's irrelevant. That's not what we're talking about. I know, but we're not what we're talking about.
Yes.
What's the value for the cash?
Most money will still
You
be
must have been
held
to the
in
LSE,
bank
so you know
accounts
everything.
with digital numbers. Fact of the matter is that. But you
don't
withdraw
worry
your
about
money from the bank and
inflation.
spend it
If
in
you had
cash.
money in the bank, it would be
I
accumulated.
think you understand it. The thing is, his issue is very correct. He has a real issue which I agree with, and that is that the governments are controlling our spending if it's all electronically. You can be switched off the network. You can
Or you're arguing. You are trying to argue that bitcoins and digital independent currencies are the superior method of resolving that. That's what you're trying to argue.
Ultimately-
I think that's completely false.
No, I do
Your
agree with that.
assumption is that digital currencies will be one permanently private. As soon as you got advanced computing, you can hack them. Second is loads of people who bought bitcoins have been robbed, and bitcoins are dominated by a handful of people who own the bitcoins.
There's problems.
Most bitcoins in the world are owned by a tiny number of people.
You know,
Of course I'm pro Bitcoin. Of course
they
I'm
control
pro
it.
Bitcoin. It's been going for 15 years. It's not been hacked. It's not been taken down.
How many people have been robbed? How many people have lost everything?
My friend just lost 50,000 in Bitcoin just a couple of weeks
you
ago.
understand
currency.
Yeah, you want to change the independent currency and government control the currency. But
You're talking about how people can protect themselves.
yes,
freedom and
you should
cash.
pay attention on these issues.
Freedom and
You
cash
know,
is via the Bitcoin,
Yeah.
which is
Bitcoin
not
isn't
controlled
cash.
by the government.
Bitcoin isn't cash.
It's now a
Bitcoin's a speculative
It's now a
object.
$1 trillion market
It's a
cap.
speculative object.
It's not going away.
A year ago,
you
it
know,
was $13,000.
Bitcoins cannot payment
Now
for your
it's
coffee.
$55,000.
Cannot pay your. This,
That's a
the
speculative
coffee shop
object.
You keep
don't
saying
accept
Bitcoin,
the
you keep saying
Bitcoin.
cannot pay for this.
Why are you wasting our time with this?
Better storage of wealth.
Lebanon,
This
Lebanon
guy's right.
A year ago, it was 13,000. It's now 50,000.
Oh yes, it's working.
that
Yes,
store well?
it's still, yeah.
Speculative
But
object.
first, you should negotiate with the government. Yes,
it will
they
collapse
will
again.
accept that the payment was accepted by the normal life. You know, normal life is we now stay in the currency issued by the
No,
central
money's not
bank.
speculative
So this is you know, when you go to the digital payment, you will get the totally
What
control
backs
of
up the
that.
What
Bitcoin?
backs up Bitcoin?
Probably you are in the digital prison.
it's
You know,
a-
everything get control.
It's
The
completely
big
controlled.
date, the big data was already happened. You know, all the data, all your preference, your bias, your preference, everything's in the computer. They will figure out what you like, what you want, what you buy. You know, that you make the choice. You know, sometimes you want to buy some things you don't want your wife know. You know, you use the cash.
Is that the issue, is it?
Yeah, that's the issue.
that the
Yeah.
main mo-
If
when
you
you
want
want
to buy
half the-
something,
half the
you
population,
don't want your
what about
wife
the
know
other
that.
half?
Use cash. Don't use your card. Your card, you check your credit card bank statement. You know what you buy.
We all have a right to
What
a
about the
private
women?
life.
Yeah. We should keep some privacy areas, and we should keep the right for your choice.
Isn't that ultimately
Yeah.
about leaving the mobile phone behind?
Yes.
It's about the mobile phone, because the mobile phone is the universal tracker. As soon as you're carrying a mobile phone, you're tracked.
Yes, you know that.
And if your money's on your mobile phone, same thing. If you don't have a mobile phone, they've got to take payment some other way.
Yes, you know, reduce your time on the mobile phone.
Right,
Reduce time on your digital life.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
share your experience with a friend, with talking. You know, it's very common. We in China, we go to the business meeting. We have the business dinner. All the people use a mobile phone. Yeah, they talk with each other with WhatsApp. We have another app, but they talk. Even they stay in the same rooms. This is
WeChat.
very terrible things. You know, people lose the language ability. The people lose the thinking ways. You know, and the TikTok, some software was very terrible. They try to push your different information to affect you, to change your thinking, to become your slave of the information. They put too much information on you and change your mind. You lose your independent thinking. You lose everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alan, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
From where you from?
I come
什
from
么地方来
China.
的？
China.
什么地方？
什么地
什么地方？
北京。
北京来的啊！谢谢你啊
No,！just quickly. Right, what I want to say to everybody here now is, look, everybody stands up and they say something, and it's important that everyone realises that we all got a voice. So in future, when you see us here, always remember that you can come up onto this platform and say something too. Hazel, that goes for you. If you ever want to come up here and say something, do what you feel and help people know where you're coming from. Thank you.
We're trying to make you speak.